In one of those buildings we pass by, but don't necessarily see, history is ever so quietly simmering.
It's a big day.
A new day for the old building at 45th and Hiawatha.
This is an amazing opportunity.
And for the African-American firefighters
Long time coming.
following in others' footsteps.
The old staircase, that's all original.
More than a century has passed since the building they are seeing for the first time was built to be Minneapolis's first and ultimately only all-black fire station.
It was opened in 1907.
Joseph Waters is the firefighting historian who's been doing the research on the men who served here.
Oscar Clark, Archie Spence, and James Cannon
Just 3 found in the records so far.
served this station their entire career.
But Joseph says potentially dozens of African Americans worked and lived in this space over the 34 years Station 24 was open.
They broke the ground for us.
Charles Rucker joined the Minneapolis Fire Department 21 years ago,
This is what would be called the engine.
where he's risen to the rank of fire motor operator.
If the system was in place how it was back in the day, I would have been the one in control of the horses. This area is the day area.
On a tour of Charles' fire station,
This is where we eat our lunch, dinner.
reminders of another time
This is my room here.
when white firefighters refused to sleep in the same beds occupied by black firefighters during the shifts before them.
That's why there was a segregated black fire station.
And when that station closed in 1941, things got worse.
Basically, since this station closed, there weren't African Americans on the Minneapolis Fire Department for almost a 30-year period.
Retired Judge LeJune Lang should know.
Yeah.
She worked as a young volunteer paralegal in the early 70s on the federal lawsuit that forced the Minneapolis Fire Department to open its hiring process to minorities.
That hole up there represents where the first fire pole was.
Now she's organized this tour and taken the lead on gaining historical status for the old fire station to protect it from demolition as the neighborhood redevelops around it.
These are the original boot lockers
John Bean,
that the firemen would use.
who currently owns the building he leases to others,
Captain's room.
is supportive of the effort to preserve it, as is
This is the basement.
the Minneapolis African American Professional Firefighters Association,
Yep.
of which Charles Rucker is president.
This is very emotional because they paved the way for us to be on the job and have these nice careers that we're having so we can raise our families and serve the community.
Backers envision a museum where children can visit,
We just seen y'all and we wanted to say, hey.
like these kids from a neighborhood summer program who just happened to walk by during the firefighters' tour.
You can also become a paramedic.
Another rung on the ladder helping the next generation up.
I am actually Assistant Chief of Administration.
Clap it up for
Yeah.
Assistant Chief.
Yeah.
Progress
Honor guard.
still being built brick by brick
1, 2, 3.
on a strong foundation.
Thank you for coming.
Boyd Hupert, Care 11 News, Minneapolis.